Hi and welcome to another class. Glad you made it here today. Give yourself a pat on the back. So we'll begin with our feet hip distance apart and our feet parallel. So just check that you're looking down at the number 11. You are nice and tall. You are lengthening your spine up to the ceiling. We're going to gently activate the abdominals and draw the belly into the spine, or think about drawing those lower abdominals up underneath the rib cage. So we keep the shoulders, the arms loose, the shoulders down, the neck long. Imagine you're creating space between each vertebra. And we're just going to start with 2 roll downs so that you can get something to compare with when we do these at the end of the class. Check in with your body now, notice how it feels. Take an inhale at the top. As you exhale, roll down through the spine, 1 vertebra at a time. Come down as far as you can. And when you get to the bottom, you should feel a stretch here. I want you to gently shake your arms and head. Feel the stretch in the hamstrings, feel the stretch in the lower back. Draw the belly into the spine and then roll back up, 1 vertebra at a time, till you're back up to standing. Inhale again at the top. Lengthen, grow tall to the ceiling. On the exhale, chin in towards the chest, roll down, 1 vertebra at a time. Come down as far as you can, soften or bend the knees if you need. And again, just gently shake the arms and head. Really allow the weight of the upper body to let you sink deeper and closer to the mat. Feeling that stretch in the back of the body. You can sway through the hips as well if you wish. You could even grab the back of your legs if you want to get a bit more of a stretch there. Then release the arms, take an inhale. As you exhale, belly draws in, roll yourself back up, 1 vertebra at a time, till you're back up to standing. Just do a couple of shoulder rolls in each direction. And then let's start first thing into the glutes with some standing exercises. So I want you to bring the weight into your right foot and slightly lift your left leg up off the mat. So I want you to flex the foot now, flex the foot of the left leg, and really feel that you are pressing that heel into the mat of the standing foot. The leg is going to stay straight for the first set. Keep that spine lengthening up to the ceiling. Then from here, 10 pulses with the leg. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then we're going to bend that knee, knee over toe. 10 more pulses, still with that foot flex. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straighten that leg, and then we're going to change sides. So bringing the weight into the other foot, lifting that leg, flexing the foot with a straight leg on the standing leg to begin. Keep that spine lengthened. 10 pulses. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend that knee now. Press that heel into the mat. Make sure you're really bringing your weight through your heel, flexing that foot. 10 pulses. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back up to standing and bringing your feet back together. From here, just come back to 3/4 of the way back on your mat. Take an inhale. You're going to roll down like you did at the beginning. Roll down, 1 vertebra at a time. This time, bend the knees slightly. Bring the hands onto the mat and then coming down into a quadruped position. So from here, let's start with the right arm and the left leg. I want you to float them out to the end of the mat. Just keep a fingertip and toe touch to begin while you find your stability in the center of your body. So your belly is drawn into your spine. Your leg is left leg lengthening out, right arm lengthening out, fingertip toe touch to start. Now we're just going to slowly lift the arm and the leg and then lower back down. You want to keep your hips square. Keep the front of the hips facing the mat and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower. Keep the spine lengthening out through the crown of the head. Lift and lower. 4 more. Lift and lower. 3. Good. Last 2. 2. And on the last one, hold it up there. Reach in opposite directions with the fingertips and the toes. We're now going to pulse the arm and the leg for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the arm and the leg there. 10 more pulses. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Float the arm and the leg back in so that you come back into your quadruped position. And from here we're now going to change sides. So just check again that your hands are under your shoulders, shoulder distance apart, knees are under hips, hip distance apart. This time the left arm and the right leg come out to the end of the mat. Fingertip and toe touch to begin while you find that activation into your abdominals. Then from here we start with our slow ones. We lift up the arm and the leg and we lower back down. Keep the front of the hips facing the mat. Lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower. You've got 4 more. Lift, keep the neck long, and lower. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. Last 2, lift and lower. On the last one, we hold it up there. We want to think about that glute and hamstring connecting on the right side as we now pulse to the ceiling. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the arm and the leg there. 10 more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Float the arm and the leg back down. Just come into a cat stretch. Send your head and tailbone down. Arch your back up to the ceiling. And then come in the other direction. Head and tailbone up. Send that belly button down. Good. 1 more each way. And then other direction, head and tailbone up, send that belly down. Good. Then from here, just come into a child's pose, reach the fingertips forward, sit bones to heels. Take a breath here. Then from here, you're going to roll yourself over onto your back. So you're lying down on your back, your feet are hip distance apart. Your knees are bent to the ceiling and your arms are down by your side. We're going to just do a couple of basic bridges first to warm up through the spine. Take an inhale. On the exhale, tilt the pelvis, peel the spine, 1 vertebra at a time, up off the mat till you come up to just between your shoulder blades. The shoulder blades should still be melting into the mat. You should be pressing your feet into the mat as well, and then pressing the hips up to the ceiling and drawing your belly button into your spine. Take an inhale at the top. On the exhale, soften each vertebra down to the mat, 1 at a time, till you're all the way down. Just 1 more like this. Inhale, exhale, bridge yourself up. Coming up to just between the shoulder blades. Make sure that your head, neck and shoulders are relaxed. You've got that oppositional energy, pressing the hips up, drawing the belly in. Inhale here. Exhale. Lower yourself back down. Good. We're going to bridge up again this time and we're going to come into some single leg bridges. Take an inhale. Exhale. Tilt the pelvis. Peel the spine up. Coming up to just between your shoulder blades. Now you should have weight even through both feet at the moment. Pressing those hips to the ceiling. I now want you to bring the weight into your left foot and float your right leg into tabletop position. Good. Float that back down. Bring the weight into the right as you float your left leg into tabletop and float it back down. So you want to try and keep the hips nice and still. So just continue alternating, doing 3 on each side. Floating that leg into tabletop and lowering back down. You've got 1 more on each side. Good, and last one, leg into tabletop, float it back down, take an inhale. As you exhale, peel the spine back down, 1 vertebra at a time, till you're all the way down. If you need to here, bring your knees into your chest, just have a quick release, take a breath, then bring your feet back down to the mat. And interlace your hands at the back of your head. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, you're now going to curl up through the head, neck and shoulders. So draw the belly in, curling up through the head, neck and shoulders. Take an inhale here. On the exhale, you're going to reach the arms and you're going to curl up that little bit higher. On the inhale, the hands come to the back of the head. We keep the spine still. And then exhale. Lower back down. And again, inhale. Exhale. Curling up. Inhale to hold. Exhale to reach and curl up higher. Draw that belly deeper. Inhale, hands come to the back of the head. And exhale, lower back down. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale, curl up. Inhale to hold. Exhale to reach, curl up higher. Inhale, hands come to the back of the head. And exhale, lower back down. Last one, inhale. Exhale, curling up. Those ribs are reaching down to the top of the hips. You inhale and hold. You exhale, reach, curl up higher, stay wide across the front of the chest. Inhale, hands come to the back of the head. And exhale, lower back down. So from here, I want you to float your right leg into a tabletop position. You're going to bring your left leg up to meet it. We're going to do 4 more of the same thing. Feel free if you need to bring your feet back down to the mat. Otherwise, legs in tabletop. 4 more. Inhale. Exhale. Curl up. Draw that belly in. Inhale and hold. Exhale. Reach. Curl up higher. Inhale. Hands come to the back of the head. And exhale, lower back down. Inhale, exhale, draw the belly in. Inhale to hold. Exhale, reach, come up higher. Those fingertips reach to the toes. Just the arms move, the spine stays still on the inhale. Exhale, lower back down. Last one, inhale, exhale, curl up. Inhale to hold. Exhale, reach, curl up higher. Inhale, hands to the back of the head. And exhale, lower back down. Just bring the knees into the chest. Feel that release in the abdominals. And then bring your feet back down to the mat. From here, bring your right leg into a tabletop position. Now you have a couple of choices here with the arms. You can have the arms down by the side, or you can have your hands behind your head, maybe for a bit more support if you start to feel anything through your neck. So curling up through the head, neck and shoulders. Again, draw that belly in. We have a 90-degree angle at the knee and a 90-degree angle at the hip. We're now going to toe tap down for 5, 4, the arms are just lifted, the fingertips reach forward, 2, 1, now we extend that leg to the ceiling, 5 with a straight leg, 5, keep that belly drawn in, 4, 3, 2, 1, bend the knee, float the leg down and lower the head, neck and shoulders down to the mat. Good, left leg into a tabletop position now. We're going to change sides. Again with the hands, you can have them down by the side. Once you curl up, you slightly lift them, or you can have your hands behind your head. Take an inhale, exhale, curl up. Draw the belly in. Those ribs reach down to the top of the hips. 90-degree angle at the knee and the hip. We leave the angle at the knee. We work just from the hip now. 5 toe taps. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Extend that leg to the ceiling. We've got 5 with a straight leg. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the knee, float the leg down and lower the head, neck and shoulders down to the mat. Just bring your knees into your chest again, just releasing those abdominals. Take a couple of breaths if you need. Then from here, bring your feet back down to the mat and your arms down by your side. So we're going to come into our hundreds now. You have a few options with your legs here. If you need to, feel free to just leave your feet on the mat, feet hip distance apart, knees bent to the ceiling. You could also have your legs in a tabletop position. So that 90-degree angle at the hips and a 90-degree angle at the knees. Lastly, most challenging, extending your legs to the ceiling or even having them slightly lowered if you can keep that abdominal control. Curling up through the head, neck and shoulders, reach the fingertips forward, draw that belly in, then start to pump the arms. Inhale for 5 pumps, exhale for 5. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. So just keep those arms nice and strong. Stay wide across the front of the chest. And keep that abdominal connection. Keep the belly drawn in. We're going to take 3 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last breath. Inhale. Exhale. Hug the knees into the chest and lower the head, neck and shoulders down. So from here, just place one hand on each knee. Draw those knees into the chest. Just do 5 big circles in each direction. Just feeling a little bit of movement through the hips, maybe a little bit of a stretch in the lower back or around the hip area. 5 one way and then come back and do 5 the other way. Good. Then from here we're going to come onto our side. So I want you to just roll over onto your side. Rest your head down on your arm. You can have your arm long or your elbow bent, it's up to you. Now you do need to check here that your hips are stacked directly on top of each other. One way to see that is if your knees are in line. You want to have your feet roughly in line with your hips. And I now want you to just ever so slightly try and draw your waist off the mat. So see if you can fit a finger or two, find a mouse hole underneath your waist. Your top hand can just be down in front for extra support. And we're just going to start with our clams. So we leave our feet together. We're going to bring that knee to the ceiling and lower back down. Lift and lower. Now you don't want the hips to move or shift. It is just your thigh bone rotating in your hip socket. So hips stay stacked on top of each other. Pelvis stays nice and quiet. Just that knee lifts to the ceiling. You still keep that belly drawn in. You still need stability even though you're lying on your side. 2 more. Good. Then we lift that leg so that it's hip distance from the bottom one. And we're going to do the same thing from here. So foot stays in the same position. It is the thigh bone rotating in the hip socket. So knee lifts to the ceiling, foot stays where it is, hips stay still. You've still got that little bit of activation through your abdominals and your core area. Good, and you should be starting to feel this working into your glutes now. We're going to do 4 more. 3, 2, and last one. Good, lower that leg down. If you need to give the glutes and hips a massage, you can. Good, then from here, extend just the top leg out and flex the foot. So you've still got that lift in the waist. That's going to give you length in the body. Tie the belly into the spine. You want the leg just in line with the top hip, flexing the foot, toes to the nose. So imagine you are pressing your heel away from you. Top hand can be down for support again. And we're just going to do 10 circles in each direction. So kind of medium-sized circles, not too big, not too little. Keeping the knee facing forward, the toes facing forward. You're going to do 10 one way and then come back and do 10 in the other direction. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just rest that leg down. Again, give the hip a rub if you need to. And bring both of your legs out long. Last one on our side here. Head still resting down, you've got that belly drawn in. This is a lot more lower abdominals here. So I want you to start to squeeze the inside of the legs together from the ankles all the way up the inside of the thighs into those lower abdominals. Then from here, keep that leg squeezing and we're going to lift them up off the mat and hold it there. So feel the lower abdominals kicking in. Then from here, we're going to add in a small scissor. So just controlling the movement. We're not kicking the legs, we're scissoring, controlling it. Keeping those legs lifted. 3 more in each direction. And the last one, bring the legs back together and lower them back down. A little bit of a rub through the hips if you need to, and then you can either roll over on your mat or just bring your head up to the other end. So back to the first one on the other side now, doing the other leg and hip, resting the head down, making sure your hips are stacked directly on top of each other. We can see that by seeing that the knees are in line. You want to have a little bit of a lift through the side of the waist. Keep that lift and keep that connection into the abdominals and core, so draw your belly in. Then from here, first one, our clams, leaving our feet together and just lifting that knee to the ceiling. Good, so knee lifts, feet stay together, hips stay quiet, and it's just your thigh bone rotating in your hip socket. Knee lifts to the ceiling and lowers back down. Good, we're going to do 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Lower that leg down. If you need to give it a massage, you can. Then we lift the leg so that it's hip distance from the bottom one, and we start again from here. So just that knee lifts, the foot stays in the same position. Knee lifts and lower back down. Lift and lower, lift and lower. Good, lift. So you've still got that belly drawn in, you've still got that lift in the waist. Lift and lower, lift. Good, you're going to do 4 more. So we've got 4, 3, 2, and last one. Good, lower that leg down. Give it a bit of a rub if you need around that hip and glute area. Then extend that top, extend just the top leg and flex the foot. So press your heel away from you. Bring your toes to your nose. Keep your knee and toes facing forward. Now the legs should be in line with the top hip. Find that bit of stability in the center of the body. We want to work this hip without too much movement through the middle of the body. So we're going to do 10 circles in each direction. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back the other way. 10, 9, knee and foot facing forward. Stability through the center of the body. 3, 2, 1. Just lower that leg down. Give the hips a bit of a rub if you need, and then bring both of your legs out long. So making sure that when you have got your legs long here, that they are in line with your body or they're slightly in front. If you've got your legs behind you, you're going to find it very hard to lift the legs and balance there. So make sure that you can almost just see your toes. Hips are still stacked on top of each other. Top hand can be down in front for extra support, or you could also have your arm up towards the ceiling, and then lifting both of those legs up off the mat, and then from here just adding in those small controlled scissor movements. So remember, we're not kicking the legs here, we're just controlling the movement, keeping those lower abdominals activated. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the legs back together and lower back down. Good. From here, just rolling onto your stomach. We'll do a little bit of extension before we finish up. So just have the hands resting down, rest the head on top of the hands. Your legs are out long behind you. So let's just start by lifting both of the legs up off the mat. So think about squeezing the legs together and then lifting them off the mat, keeping the pelvis melting into the mat, trying to clear the thighs off the mat and drawing your abdominals away from the mat or your belly button away from the mat. Hold those legs there and lower back down. This time we're going to add the upper body in as well. Now you can lift with your arms or you can leave your forearms on the mat and you can use that to help press you up a little bit. So take an inhale. As you exhale, lifting up. Keep the head touching the hands if you are lifting the upper body, if you are lifting the arms. Otherwise your arms are down and you get that little bit of a press through the forearms to help you with your extension in the upper body and lower back down. So we'll just do 2 more of these. Lift up, hold it there, and lower back down. Last one. Exhale, lift. Inhale to hold. Exhale to lower back down. From here, just press up onto your knees, come into a child's pose, sit bones to heels, fingertips walk forward. Just walk your hands around to the left so you get a stretch all the way down the right side of the body. Then come back through the center, walk your hands to the right so that you get that stretch all the way down the left. Good, come back to the center. Come up onto your hands and knees, tuck your toes underneath. Walk your hands back to your knees, then come press up onto the balls of the feet. Feel a little stretch here in your Achilles, and then send your heels down to the mat and slowly come back to the center of the mat and slowly roll yourself back up, 1 vertebra at a time, till you're back up to standing. Now we want to finish with our last 2 roll downs. So the same way we started. It's a good chance for you to see how different your body feels. So think back to how it felt at the beginning of the class. You're back to where you started, feet hip distance, shoulders down, neck long, belly drawn in, even balance between the balls and heels of the feet. Take an inhale at the top. On the exhale, roll down through the spine, keep that belly drawn in as if you're coming up and over a big exercise ball. Come down as far as you can, soften the knees at the bottom if you need. And again, just gently shake through the arms and the head. Make sure there is no tension in that upper body and you're just getting the stretch through the hamstrings and maybe into the lower back. Take an inhale, draw the belly up into the spine and then exhale, roll back up. One vertebra at a time till you're back up to standing. Last one, inhale, exhale, chin to chest, roll down. One vertebra at a time. Come down as far as you can. And again, this time you can gently shake the arms and head. You can grab the back of your legs if you want a bit of an extra stretch. You can even place your hands on the mat and just bend and straighten your knees a few times. Shake it out, sway through the hips. Let all of the tension out through the fingertips and the crown of the head. The back of the neck should be long. The crown of the head falling down to the mat. Take an inhale, draw the belly in, and then on the exhale, roll back up, one vertebra at a time, till you're back up to standing. Just do 2 big shoulder rolls back again, and 2 big shoulder rolls forward. And there we go, well done guys, congratulations, you've made it through a half-hour class. We have covered a little bit of everything today. I hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you